Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. So today in this video, I'm going to explain two HTML files that I've created using Visual Studio Code. So the first file is called index.html, which is used to display personal information such as my identity, hobbies, and education history. And the second file is index2.html, which is a simple registration form where users can input their personal data like name, student ID, email, gender, religion, and password. Both of these files are connected, and after filling out the registration form, the data will be directed to the biodataku page. So now let's start by explaining the first file, index.html, and then I'll move on to the second one, index2.html. First, let's start with the head section. In this part, there are some basic HTML settings that automatically appear when we type the exclamation mark shortcut in VS Code. Next, we have the title element, which sets the title that appears on the browser tab. Here, the title is Biodataku. Next, let's move on to the body section. This part contains all the main content that appears on the web page. At the top, there's a main heading using the h1 tag with the text Biodataku. And the main title, like this, is only used once in a web page. Below that, there's a subheading using the h2 tag with the text identitas diri, which means personal identity. This section contains basic personal information. Now, let's talk about the personal information section. Here, there is an image displayed using the EMG tag. The src attribute shows where the image file is located, while ALT is used to show alternative text if the image fails to load. The height and width attributes are used to control the image size, and there's a margin left style to give a little space from the left side so it looks near. Then, the personal data is written in an unordered list using the full tag, and each piece of information is placed inside an ill tag. The list uses bullet points to show each item clearly. In this part, we can see information such as name, student ID, major, address, and email. Next, we have the hobbies section. This section also has a subheading using the h2 tag titled hobby. It includes an image related to hobbies, followed by a number list, or what we call an order list using the alt tag. Here, I list a few of my hobbies, such as being an F1 enthusiast, listening to music, and watching movies. After that, we move on to the educational background section. This section also has a subheading Riwayat Pendidikan. It displays educational history using a table. The table is made using the table tag with a border one. So there are clear lines separating the columns. The first row of the table contains column header, which are created using the th tag. The headers include number, which is no, tingkat pendidikan, nama sekolah, and tahun lulus. The header row also has a blue background color to make it different from the other rows. The next rows use the TD tags to show the data, starting from elementary school, junior high school, senior high school, and finally university, along with the graduation year. Finally, let's conclude all this file. So overall, this HTML file named index.html is used to display personal information in a simple web page format. The structure mainly uses lists, both unordered and ordered, to organize data neatly. A section has its own heading, such as personal information, hobbies, educational background, which helps make the layout easy to understand. At the end, the use of a table makes the educational data clearer and more structured. Next one, I want to explain about the second file, which is index2.html. First, let's start again with the head section. In this part, there are some basic HTML settings that automatically appear when we type the exclamation mark in VS Code. And then the title element gives the page its title on the browser tab, which is this case is account registration or registrasi akun. This section also includes some CSS styling. The CSS is used to arrange the spacing between the form labels so that each label and input box looks neat and aligned. Each label also has some margin on the top and bottom to make the layout less crowded. So next, let's move on to the body section. This is where all the visible content of the web page is placed. At the top, there's a main heading using the H1 tag with the text account registration. The main heading is only used once in this page. Below that, there's a form element where user can fill in their personal data. When the register button is clicked or daftar button is clicked, the form data will be sent to the index.html page using the action attribute. All the form elements are grouped inside a field set, which makes the form look more organized. At the top of the box, there's a legend element with the text registration form or formulir registrasi. So now let's go through each input field one by one. The first input field is for the full name. It uses the text input type and includes the autofocus attribute, which automatically places the cursor in this field when the page is open. This field is also marked as required, meaning it cannot be left empty, and it has a placeholder to give user an example of what to type. Next is student ID. This field uses the number input type, which allows only numeric characters. Just like the name field, it's also required and includes a placeholder as a guide. Next one is email section. This field uses the email input type, which automatically checks if the entered text includes the @ symbol and a valid format. If the user types something without an @ symbol, the browser will show a warning message. Next one is gender. This one uses a radio button, so the user can only choose one option, either male, laki-laki, or female, perempuan. Each option has a value attribute that will be sent when the form is submitted. After that, we have the religion section. This one uses a drop-down menu created with the select tag. It contains several options such as Islam, Catholic, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, and Confucian. The user can simply select the religion that fits them. Next, we have password field. This uses the password input type, which hides the character as dots or bullets to keep it secure. It's used for entering a password that the user wants to create. And the next one below it is the confirm password field. This field is also of the password type, and it's meant to confirm that the password entered above is the same. However, the validation to check if both password match hasn't been implemented yet, that will be covered in a later topic. Lastly, at the bottom of the page, there's a register button with the text daftar. This button is of the submit type, which means when it's clicked, it will send all the form data to the biodataku page or index.html. So, this HTML file, index2.html, is used to collect user data through an input form, and the structure is organized clearly, starting from the name field up to the confirm password section. Each input type, like text, number, radio, select, and password, is chosen based on the kind of data it collects. Finally, the submit button at the bottom of function to send all the field data to the next page. So that's all for my explanation about this HTML project, index, and index2.html. Thank you for watching. See you on another video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.